Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I am back with another video, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that, I've been really wrenching as to whether or not I really wanted to talk about it, and that's because it's just so difficult for me to express my displeasure about making this decision and why I'm sticking with this decision to not see Solo in theaters, and why I am done, and I mean 100% done with Disney Star Wars, and will not see another Disney Star Wars movie in theaters at all. Well, this video actually kind of stems from a post that I saw on my Facebook wall that somebody posted at me, and I put it up on Twitter, but I deleted the tweet. And it was a kid who just tells me that I don't know anything. I've never seen any of the TV shows or read the books or anything else like that. And it's like, kid, you don't even know me, man. And, for me, Star Wars is a family affair. It really is, because Star Wars, pretty much, like, if not for Star Wars, science fiction wouldn't be a mega blockbuster thing that it is. I mean, it's so important to everything from Transformers to other sci-fi franchises. I mean, think about it. Star Trek, only had the TV show, and the want for more Star Trek stuff really exploded thanks to Star Wars. And I mean, even William Shatner even admits that. Well, my parents, are, big into these movies as well. They saw all three of the original trilogy in theaters. I was born in 1981, so obviously I was too young to see the original Star Wars movie and to see Empire Strikes Back in theaters, but I did see Return of the Jedi when I was a year and a half old. And, so for me, it literally was ingrained in me right from the beginning. And Transformers, obviously you guys know I'm a big Transformers guy. The original G1 Transformers cartoon used a lot of Star Trek and a lot of Star Wars sound effects. You hear like the TIE fighter flying ahead, and that's really Starscream doing a dive, or, the lightsaber sound effects when things kind of get crashed or things explode. All those sound effects were used in G1 Transformers. And, Muppet Babies had all that stock footage. Every time they would open up the door and you would see like, X-Wings and TIE fighters blasting and shooting and everything else like that. It's one of those things where Star Wars became like ingrained into popular culture, into everything else. And by the time that I, was 5 years old, I had seen the original trilogy, more than once on VHS cassette. My dad even knew back then. I remember way back when I was a kid, and my parents telling me like, Anakin Skywalker faces off against Obi-Wan Kenobi on a volcano. And when, the special editions came out, I had already played, the Super Nintendo games. I had already played, Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64, and had already gotten really deep into the lore. I read some of the books, but I'll be honest with you, I've read Shadows of the Empire, and I can't remember the two other books that I read. But I haven't read much. But the thing is there's so much Star Wars stuff out there. Some people are super hardcore fans of Star Wars. I'm more of a Transformers guy. That's obvious. But I'm a big Star Wars fan, too. I enjoy it. I enjoy the movies. And the special editions came out, and it was my chance to be able to see the original trilogy again on the big screen, and be able to see Empire Strikes Back, and be able to see the original Star Wars movie, and seeing, the Star Destroyer flying overhead. I mean, it's just movie magic. And the prequels came out, and people either loved them or hated them. I was somewhere in the middle. I loved the Darth Maul fight. I thought that it was awesome to see Yoda with a lightsaber flipping around. And, of course, obviously that Obi-Wan Anakin fight was something that we waited for years to see. And, granted, so many people don't like certain things about Star Wars. Disney takes over Star Wars after, obviously, Revenge of the Sith was like way out of theaters by this point. Obviously, the Clone Wars TV show was on, and a lot of people really love the Clone Wars. I didn't get to see Clone Wars until maybe maybe by the third or fourth season, when I finally like really started to get to actually watch it and actually get into it, and I watched it from the beginning when it was all on Netflix, and being able to see it all, you know, unfold, it really made the prequel trilogy actually, you know, stand out a little bit more than it did. I really loved Ahsoka's character. I didn't like her at first. I'm going to admit, I did not like her at first. I just kind of felt her attitude just kind of was off-putting, but she grew into this amazing character over time, over episodes. And, you know, The Force Awakens came out. Now, before The Force Awakens came out, and Disney took over, you know, I'd already done on this channel, I did a Super Star Wars game review, and I did, you know, and then when Force Awakens came out, my sister and I were in the car. It's like it was one of the most choppy videos that you can watch of me and my sister just chatting about, like, you know, the stuff happening in The Force Awakens. And I kind of thoroughly enjoyed the movie. There was obviously some decisions, and obviously I'm going to be talking spoilers, so I really don't care. If you've not seen any of the Star Wars, the new Star Wars movies, I really don't care if you've been spoiled or not, because, come on, get with the program. But the thing is that, you know, Force Awakens comes out, and Han Solo dies. Now, my sister and I both kind of agreed, my mom's not going to like this, you know, because my mom loves Harrison Ford. Absolutely loves Harrison Ford. And so she, you know, was kind of like, she was in tears. She told me when she first saw Empire Strikes Back and seeing that whole like scene with him and the, you know, getting frozen in carbonite. So seeing him die was just kind of like, it was literally like my mom's heart was pulled out. And we knew like that was kind of one of the things that my mom was going to hate when she finally saw the movie, and she did. And, you know, I remember my mom rewatching the making of The Force Awakens, like, over and over again, because, you know, it hadn't come out yet on Blu-ray. And, you know, it was just kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, from a family affair, you're like this kind of sucks that, like, they went off and they killed this character before all the other characters can get together and meet, and we can see them all, you know, now, you know, years later. But instead, like, you know, Han Solo just kind of gets killed off like it was nothing, and, you know, it was kind of like a dark spiral. I enjoyed The Force Awakens, but it was one of those scenes in Force Awakens that I didn't care for. So Rogue One comes out, and I enjoyed the movie overall. I started to get into the characters. I kind of got the feeling that they were all going to die, and yeah, of course they all die, but Vader, man, when he comes out with the lightsaber at the end of that movie, it's like one of the best things that, you know, I've seen in Star Wars. Everybody's wanted to see Vader in full gear with a lightsaber, just gutting people down, and he does it in full awesome fashion, right? And it really made me want to go back and watch the original trilogy again, which I did. I went back and watched the original trilogy again, remembered why I love the original trilogy, why Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite Star Wars movie of the entire saga, and everybody was waiting to see The Last Jedi. And I remember I went to, you know, the New York Comic Con back in October, and I saw, you know, everybody that I was with, they were all big talking about how excited they were to see The Last Jedi, and how they, I mean, I remember how we had like this big giant thing that I walked through that had like all the different costumes, you know, that they had, like the different helmets, and, you know, it was really cool to walk into that experience, and like everybody was really excited for The Last Jedi. And I saw the movie, and if you guys remember, I did my review, and and I had my wife with me, and we brought our daughter. So this was kind of interesting. I saw The Return of the Jedi when I was 1.5 years, and my daughter now saw The Last Jedi when she was almost 2. And I came out of the movie, and it was like, I really want to like this movie. And so you can kind of see it, like there's some subtext in that review where, like, there are things about the movie I didn't like. I didn't like Canto Bight. I didn't like, you know, that the plots went nowhere, that nobody really won. Everybody lost. All the good guys were just doing nothing but failing. That it attacked everybody for, you know, the worst kind of people are the people who, you know, have all, you know, have this big town of richness. And the thing is like, you could have landed your ship in a normal place instead of landing on the beach where it was quote unquote illegal. It was just one of the most stupid things, you know, in the movie. And the last part of the movie where Luke dies, it was just, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, one part of me was trying to hold it back and say, no, you know, this was awesome. He came out and he faced off against Kylo Ren, and no, wait, he's not there. And like I had this back and forth battle within myself. And of course, the kid at the end with the broomstick, and he pulls the broomstick out, and he's like, you know, that's where the movie ends. And you're like, all right, so I guess this movie is for the new generation. And that's what I honestly thought, like, coming out of the movie. And I was just like, was holding myself back and going, something's not right here. I want to like this movie because, you know, it was a big spectacle and all these things happened, and a lot of stuff was like leading back from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It was all mashed into one. They were trying to redo it. And then I did the review, and then a friend of mine said, we need to go see the movie again, and you know, you got to come with us. So I went and saw the movie a second time, and that's where I lost it. I really did. I really felt like I lost everything that made me a Star Wars fan was when I saw it the second time. It just made me absolutely hate the movie. It made me absolutely hate where the franchise was going, and it just completely decimated everything. You know, everything that I hated about the movie the first time I saw it, that I kind of like buried, all came out to fruition when I saw it that second time. Seeing Luke die that second time, brought back by the fact that obviously that Carrie Fisher had died before The Last Jedi hit theaters, and we weren't sure where she was going to show up in episode 9, and now I don't care. And, you know, seeing her, you know, seeing Luke die the way he did was just like, it was wrong. It was like, it was literally as if the folks at Disney were trying to say to my parents, trying to say to my siblings, and trying to say to my wife and I, you guys are Star Wars fans of the old regime, and you have no place in seeing Star Wars. You don't belong here, because Star Wars is now only for this new generation, this kid with the broomstick. And that's really how the movie ended to me. It ended to me in this way. It literally felt like I was being told that I don't belong as a Star Wars fan. I'm too old to be a Star Wars fan. And that my kids, you know, are the ones that should be able to enjoy Star Wars, but I can't. I can't enjoy it with them. And that's like literally how I felt after coming out of the movie. Now, mind you, when Disney took over, I didn't keep track of who Kathleen Kennedy was and who, you know, Rian Johnson were and who these people were. I really didn't care. Like, to me, I felt like, you know, Disney has done a great job with Marvel, and I hope that they can do a great job with Star Wars. And I enjoyed The Force Awakens, even though I felt that it was kind of a rehash of Episode 4, but it was still different. And Harrison Ford wanted, obviously, Han Solo to die, so he did, and this character went out the way that he did. And, you know, seeing Luke die to me was like the end of Star Wars for me. It really felt like it was like, this was it. Star Wars is it. It's done. It's over. This has always been the Luke Skywalker, you know, the Skywalker saga. It's always been about that family being, you know, what they are to the galaxy. And obviously, okay, maybe Ben Solo being the only, you know, Jedi. He's not really a Jedi. He's you know, an evil lord now. I mean, it just took me for this, like I really can't, I couldn't get behind it. Well, Last Jedi came out, after seeing it a second time, that's how I felt about Star Wars. And over the past couple of months, you know, there's been a lot of talk about Solo. About, you know, and I see a lot of you guys, you know, you're posting your videos, and, you know, people are saying, like, I'm not, you know, we're gonna boycott Solo, and we're not gonna go see it. And I said to myself, I'm not part of that crowd. I'm not part of this whole, like, movement of we're gonna boycott Solo. I'm part of this. I saw Last Jedi. I felt hurt. I felt hurt by the filmmakers. I felt hurt by Disney. for a franchise that my entire family has had had a love affair with, and we felt like our hearts were ripped out. And the movie came out on Blu-ray recently. I went inside, I bought it because I needed to watch it again. I needed to watch again a third time why I really don't like this movie. And this is kind of like one of those things where it's like, I really, really don't like something, but I was trying to force myself to like it. I ended up watching it 3 times. It's just, I did it with Transformers Titans Return. I did it with Transformers The Last Night. And here I did it with Star Wars The Last Jedi. And I saw the movie a third time, and I just felt like it was like, man, like my mom saw it, you know, I watched it with my entire family, and the entire time we're picking apart this movie. All of these things that are happening in the movie, and my mom's just like, I don't like this and I don't like that. My dad's like, I don't like this, and my wife's like, I don't like that. We just couldn't get into watching the movie again. But when the movie ended, we were done. It was like we're done. I can't see another Star Wars movie. I can't go and watch, you know, anything. The wound of Carrie Fisher, you know, obviously Carrie Fisher dying, obviously it affected her mother so much that she passed away a couple days later. The fact that you know, Han Solo is gone, and that now that Luke Skywalker is gone, who's left? Nobody. And that's the thing. I don't care about Star Wars moving forward. And so Solo comes out, and I'm sitting, you know, it's ready to come out, and I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, I really can't see this movie again. I just can't. I just can't bring myself to watch Solo, and I don't care about the origin being told through the Disney lens of Solo's origin. I liked him being I'm gonna tongue tie myself here. I enjoyed him being the nerf herd, you know, the scruffy looking nerf herder that he was in the original trilogy, and the way that he was even in The Force Awakens. I mean, that was pure Harrison Ford, Han Solo, really nobody else. Like, my mother said it in that one video that I posted, you know, if she can turn back the hands of time and bring back Harrison Ford, and obviously they can't do that. I mean, the money that they spent, apparently from what I heard on Solo, they could have literally made Harrison Ford digitally show up on you know, on this guy's face, and would have made the budget would have been the same, because the amount of money that it cost to do that. So I didn't care. And it was also the fact that we're looking at now, you know, 5-6 months after The Last Jedi came out, that we're getting another Star Wars movie. Nobody wants to see this. Last Jedi was so bad that I don't want to see another Star Wars movie. And I don't want to see another Star Wars movie in theaters. I don't want to watch Star Wars anymore. And here I am, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. I will enjoy watching the original trilogy over again. I'll enjoy watching Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars over again. And I'll let my kids enjoy that too. But I don't think I'll be able to watch any future Star Wars films at all. I just can't. I can't bring myself to it. I don't care if they're good. I don't care if Han Solo, if Solo is good. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if Episode 9 is good. Last Jedi was so bad that I cannot bring myself to watch a new Star Wars movie at all, whatsoever. And the thing is like, so what? Where does this lead to? Where does this all going? Well, from what I understand, and from what I've been hearing I've been watching a lot of your guys' videos. I had to go off and actually search for myself the actual original quotes from these movie makers and from the producers, from this Kathleen Kennedy and from Rian Johnson and from all the different troubled production with all the different Star Wars films. Well, finding out that Kathleen Kennedy legit purely does not care if Star Wars fans like the movie or not. Going off and saying, I don't owe them anything. And then bringing on identity politics. All right, I don't care if you want to bring in a character that is a certain way or whatever. I mean, it's showing up all over Hollywood. It is what it is. but make the stories good. If the story is good, we'll enjoy the movie. It's kind of like subliminal subtext, so to speak. We kind of accept the character for being there while all this good storytelling is going on. We don't notice their, overbearing, identity politics and everything else they want to bring into to the picture. So the other thing is, finding out that Rian Johnson literally has come out and said, if I want to make a movie that, half the people hate. So you did your job, but you did it with a movie that, a franchise that needs everybody to universally enjoy the movie so that more movies can make money. You made a bad decision to do it with The Last Jedi. So, then you have, all these different troubled productions being made with these movies, and then finding out that one of the writers for Solo decided in an interview that he was going to change the character of Lando Calrissian. And I said to myself, I was like, so hold on a second. So we're not only bringing identity politics into the picture, we're bringing like sexuality into it. Why? What for? Why do we need this in a Star Wars movie? And I said to myself, I said, you know what? I am not going to let my kids see this movie either. If you're going to bring this kind of talk into a Star Wars movie, a movie that's supposed to be about escapism, it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be enjoyable, we're supposed to sit down and just like enjoy these movies. Now you're bringing this into it? I'm sorry, but my kids can't see it. My kids can't watch the new Star Wars movies. I can't see Solo, I can't see Episode 9, I can't see your Obi-Wan Kenobi, and my kids can't see it either. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us at this point now where everything up until before Disney took over, to me, is Star Wars. And everything that Disney has taken over isn't Star Wars. Even if I like the movie, I don't care if I like the movie or not. I'm not going to see any of them in theaters. I'm not going to pay for a movie ticket. And now that you brought this into the Star Wars universe, you've literally made it so that my kids can't see it either. Because I have to take the responsibility as a father that my kids, I can't let them go off and watch these things. Come on, we have a movie rating system for a reason. There is G-rated movies, there's PG-rated movies. I can't bring my kids to go watch Star Wars? Good job. Good job, Disney. It's great to see that, you want all this money to come in so you can have your theme parks, have this Star Wars experience so you can make oodles and oodles of money. And this is what you do to Star Wars? Done. I'm just done. So, obviously, please, I hope you guys have enjoyed, me going off on this rant and tirade about why I just can't bring myself to go off and see, the new Solo movie, and I won't see any future Star Wars films. I mean, I'll review one of the older games if, maybe the wound starts to heal, but I'm done. I'm done with Star Wars. And it's sad. It really is sad. So, thumbs up this video if you like it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.